the Vengeful Spirit. It's going to be X-Rag actually on the Nyx Assassin. I've seen him play many times. I've got all faith in him being able to pull this one off. Slick's going to be on your Mirana, and it's going to be Good Dot on that Troll Warlord, so he may actually jump as a mid laner. Meanwhile, Sonagong on the Silencer. We're going to have BTK on your Pudge with a nice looking set there. Pretzel going to be playing as your Baton. We're going to have Forgus going to be on your Clinks, and that leaves Jenny going to be on your Rubik. I know that isn't actually Jenny, but you know, if you're going to use an alias, I'm going to say it in game, fellas, just the way it's going to be. And they will actually see each other just around the jungle. I'm going to see if there's no Fallout announcer, but we're going to have some Rick and Morty on board for you all. Alright, but there will be everyone will see each other just around in the Radiant jungle. I can hear the Mirana arrows coming out now, but going to be firing off to the left. And Forgus is actually caught in the middle of this, has to pop his invis, probably not what he wanted to level up. He's actually sitting under the sentry ward there, so dropping very low. And MPJ will take a couple of last hits before getting forced back. Sonagon getting zoned out there by Good Dot. And yeah, that will be Good Dot picking up the bounty with our Pudge BTK going to be taking your top bounty. And so yeah, by looks of it, it might be solo lanes coming up against each other. That's just how you play the Nyx Assassin, trying to find him those fast levels. Especially in this kind of game, you need him to be getting his level 6 as fast as possible and coming out for those early assassinations. And he's going to be coming up against Pudge, so he may have to consider leveling up that Spike Carapace, because our Spike Carapace into Rot, that will stun up Pudge very nicely, giving him both an escape mechanism and a little tactic to use to harass Pudge back. Meanwhile, bot lane, it's going to be Pretzel and Forgus having a hard time up against Slicks, MPJ, and Delirium. The three ranged lineup are already doing their damage. A couple of stuns come out to Pretzel. This could be First Blood, and Vengeful Spirit will find the last hit on the Abaddon, so bad luck for him. And yeah, that shows the power of this kind of lane. It's a high damage output right-click kind of lane. You wouldn't guess it from MPJ with only the 46. Yeah, 46 right-click damage on the Vengeful, only 45 on the Slicks. But it's yeah, it's just going to be enough to harass them back. There's not much counter damage considering Forgus really struggles with yeah, with Clinks' slow attack speed. Pretzel will have to get in there for melee range, and that just won't work. And Jenny really doesn't have the life to actually stand up against this, so should be a good lane here for Beardman. Well drafted by them, the limited pool. Alright, gonna bring up your last hits, and that brings up pretty much a telltale story. It's gonna be Beardman taking the little bit of an early lead here with the last hits. Mirana should be having a pretty easy time in lane, and that is reflected on the scoreboard. But yeah, top lane, since it will be two melee heroes coming up against each other, and X-Rag's just going to be doing that a lot, so he will have to level up the Spike Carapace a little bit more before that will really be a survivor for him, but he's essentially got a double stun if he knows how to use it properly, so shouldn't be too many troubles for him. Alright, so yeah, just a bounty on the Vengeful, so nothing that you can really use for that gank potential. Pushing Jenny back out of the lane though. There is the sentry ward here, it's going to be blocking the camp, so it means Slapnut won't actually be able to pull their lane at all until they deward that. That's a hell of a deward. Godot getting walked down here very low here with the Curse of the Silent. That may pop him, but no, he will survive with about 90, bottle himself back up. And so Sonagong with that early mid lane harassment, still a little bit behind on the last hits, but the more he levels up, the more of a pain Silencer gets, as we all know. But yeah, very well warded bottom jungle coming out from Beardman with the couple of easy D. The Observe one here as well as the lane D ward. Troll Warlord actually getting the kill in the mid lane on the Silencer. No help from BTK coming out from there. Probably went for the hook out. Unfortunately, I missed that one. My bad, fellas. MPJ getting dragged back onto the tower. And the body block from Jenny may not have seemed to have done much, but may be enough. Rubik getting the last hit there. Getting right-clicked to death by Rubik is pretty depressing. It's almost on par with Techies. But alas, that will be a kill nonetheless. Slap'em gets their first kill of the game. So yeah, good work coming out from Jenny. Top lane, X-Rag and Pudge have both found their level 4. X-Rag's a little bit ahead on the XP. Sitting at 16 last hits compared to only the 11 coming out from Pudge. And X-Rag trying to get as much harassment damage as he can into Pudge before Pudge can actually stand up against it. Meanwhile, mid lane, Troll Warlord's actually just about to hit his level 6, so Godot's finding some very nice farm there compared to Sonagong, who's still only sitting about, you know, a quarter of the way to level 5. So Godot finding the full level up on him by the 4-minute mark, so good little start from him. Godot also picking up the Invis rune, so he may look for a kill here, but that will wear off a bit too early for him. Meanwhile, on the top lane, BTK needs to be careful here. MPJ actually using a bit of a clever pull there, pulling the heavier camp with the Hellbears. And the sun's coming out onto BTK. If he tries popping the Rot to Suicide, yeah, X-Rag was just going to get him with the Spike Carapace, but Pudge will be going down. Last hit going the way of the Vengeful. Probably not who it should have been prioritized for. Probably should have seen if he could get that going up on the Nyx, but that should be Nyx's level 6. Oh, it's very close. And so we're about to see Beardman looking for a lot more rotation and a lot more subsequent ganks. But yeah, Beardman are off to a very good start, sitting at 28 for 11 on the Mirana, 24 for 9 on the Nyx, and 20 and 10 on Troll Warlord. Troll Warlord actually getting taken down in the mid lane by Sonagong, so that will slow up his farm a bit, but some very nice last hit advantage going their way with almost 2,000 gold lead by the 5-minute mark, as well as about a 1,500 XP lead, but that will swing back up just a little bit now that Sonagong has found the kill. Meanwhile, BTK rotating around does find MPJ. May go for the hook here, but this is always a hard area just because of how much juking you can do in these trees. And case in point, BTK just getting straight out of it. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Godot being lifted up. Moran actually killing off Clinks down in the bottom lane. So good work by Slicks there. Godot getting dragged very low there, but unable to be brought down. Lord Darcy can't kill him off that easily. And Delirium does find the haste rune, so it's probably just going to save that for someone else. Godot has to be careful here. Will probably be going down here. Not much he can actually do to stand up against this if Silence was able to get in range, but Godot with the move speed will find his way out of that. No problem. Slicks has to be careful here. Coming up against a very high damage output from Forgus at the moment. Only has the Ring of Aquila, still inactive, but that would have been a lot more fearful actually if he wasn't only level 3. Still yet to find level 4, as Pattern only just finds level 4, so very slow levels compared to the almost level 6 Mirana.
Oh, Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And meanwhile, Nyx Assassin nearly level 8, got the bottle on board, so he's gonna be ready nice and soon to be looking for these rotation ganks. They got Rubik TPing into the mid lane, gonna be trying to look for this kill up here on Godot. Will likely be coming and looking for the lift, pulling him back into Silencer for the kill, but that will be the game plan anyway. Meanwhile, bottom lane, bit of harassment coming out to Pretzel. The Mirana arrow will be coming out. Does miss. Well dodged by Pretzel. Should have waited for the Vengeful, but it doesn't matter in the end. Mirana will still find the kill. But yeah, a few missed skill shots here, and that's what a few of these heroes are relying on, from Mirana Zero to Pudge Hook. And there will be the Observer D ward up in the mid lane, so a couple of nice, solid, sneaky strats. X-Rag at the back, looking for the kill on Sonagong. Godot will come in with the initiation. Doesn't get the stun. The lift will come out from Jenny in time, forcing X-Rag to push back. Godot getting dragged nice and low. But he's kind of stayed low the whole game, and they just still can't kill him off, so he seems pretty comfortable not having much health. X-Rag still only on that level 7. Meanwhile, that did leave Pudge to farm up past the level 6, so he has the Dismember on board. It's only going to be a matter of time until he finds a Blink Dagger and starts finding his way into the enemy. Meanwhile, top lane, we do see BTK actually landing the hook. The Spike Carapace came out, but alas, does not do much against the Dismember, I don't believe. And Nyx Assassin will be going down there to Good starting play there from Pudge, bringing up his mid-level 7. Meanwhile, bottom lane, bit of a D-ward going on there. Good work from Slap'em. I like that abbreviation, I really do. Yeah, no, these lanes have been going more or less as expected. Beardman very heavily in the lead. Ooh, gonna hang on for a sec. Pretzel does get hit by the Mirana arrow. And Mirana finding yet another kill, sitting it with the killing spree and the 1 assist on top of that. So she's finding some nice pickoffs. As is Pudge, who comes in from the side, and combination with the hook, I don't believe he actually got... He did get the dismember off, hence the extra little bit of damage on the way out. Was enough for the kill. Meanwhile, mid lane Sonagon getting taken out by Godot and MPJ, but they are forced to back off with the initiation coming out from Pretzel. Almost brings down MPJ, sitting on only the 100 health. Meanwhile, bottom lane, X-Ray coming in from Forgus, gets off the stun and will find the kill. Meanwhile, Jenny, just off to the side, finds the illusions, is able to still work out which is the true rag. And yeah, with the combination of him and Delirium, this should be a dead Rubik in about... Ooh, bit earlier than expected. Nice little extra mana burn there coming out from X-Rag. Will find the kill. But yeah, there should be a pretty heavy favour of Team Beard right now. 3.5k gold advantage and the 2.5k XP lead. And that's also reflected in the farm. You see Mirana sitting at 56 for 18, 41 for 14 for Godot, and 40 for 14 for Nyx. And then the highest on the side of Slap'em is actually the Silencer with 35 for 5. So starting to fall behind a little bit farther than they maybe would have liked with their last hits as well. So subsequently also their net worth. But they'll find their way out of it. Slick's got to be careful here, buddy. If that was a Pudge, he may not have been getting away quite so easily. And still might not, actually. The hasted up Sonagon will probably run Slicks down. And Slicks with some clever juking. Doesn't have the mana for the arrow. Gonna run into the trees. Probably try and pop it off. Does get the juke back around. But he's losing health too fast to the Silencer and will go down. Meanwhile, mid lane. Pudge went down in a little bit of a spiteful KK. A lot of banter. We'll be going with these teams off the scene. After the match, I imagine. But alas, off to a pretty competitive start here. So some entertaining Dota here for the Anzac Cup.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And again, sorry for any of my Twitch viewers that are stuck seeing this in 240p. Hoping the soothing sounds of my voice are making up for the low quality. Probably should have gone to My Republic, the fiber optic network providers that are actually sponsoring the cup. Yeah, some good net would be coming out from them, and probably something I could have used, to be honest. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, something else someone could have used is that X-Rag needs this getaway, and he does in fact get the arrow coming out from Mirana as they try and work down BTK. And the last hit will go the way of Mirana. Slick's trying to chase down Clinks, will not get it. Jenny, in the meantime, does get the lift onto Slicks. Slicks is stuck a little bit here, and will have to pop his ultimate just to stay alive. And so yeah, the 1-for-1 trade, BTK in exchange for the Nyx Assassin, so worse trades have been made. Yeah, just coming to a bit of a lull in the game as both teams just go back to farming, which is something they really need to start focusing on, especially on the side of Slap'em. They need Clinks to try and pick up probably the Orchid Malevolence as soon as possible on top of the Ring of Aquila. He still doesn't actually have his full power treads yet, so he's starting to fall a little bit behind. As well as Silencer, he is in pretty desperate need of some extra last hits as well as a couple extra kills. 2 for 1 ain't bad, but should realistically be sitting on a little bit of a higher net worth. Be out of the top 4, 3 of those are members of Beard, so that's kind of telling a tale when it comes to how the farm is going for both teams. Ooh, and the lucky creep dodge there coming out from Slicks, who not sure if luck or skill, but either way, good dodge, man. Bad luck, Pudge. Well, I'm sure we'll see BTK getting a couple more harassment hooks in not too long. And Godot does have the lifesteal on board, meaning he can actually start going for these more aggressive creep stacks. Try and chip his way into the Ancients for that little bit of bonus gold that he will need. Probably going to be building into the Helm of the Dominator pretty soon. There is a 4-man smoke rotation here down the bot lane for Slap'em. And they're looking for the Pudge Hook, who's leading the charge. They know that X-Rag is there, but Alas, the smoke might wear off, but he's in the middle of Nomad's land. They know exactly where he's going. Unless he pops the invis, he will not be getting out of this alive, I don't imagine. And Fork is actually in the way of the hook, but does finally find it. Klink's getting the last hit there.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And yeah, unfortunately for Nyx Assassin, got the invis off just a little bit too late there, so won't actually have it when he spawns as well, so bad luck there for him. MPJ mid lane, just taking a little bit of harassment from Sonagong, but you know, nothing, can't just walk off. Delirium scouts out yet another good room with the DD, waiting for Slicks to come by and pick it up. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Forgus is pushing his way into the tier 1 tower. Fortifications are going to come out, and I'm not sure if anyone's actually going to bother to TP down, or if Slicks is going to just keep pushing up into the top lane. There is the defensive ping from Sonagong about the mid lane. They are aware that there's a few of them grouping up. They don't actually have any. Oops, sorry about that bad camera. Because looking at the minimap, they don't actually have any wards in the dire jungle, so they do have to be nice and careful about this. They just out invised each other as the smoke gank. The Mirana ult will not connect. They do find BTK. And it's all about the initiation here. Godot may just have to use his slow and misses. BTK might actually get away from this now. The Winter's Curse will be enough. BTK getting slowed up here. Gets his does get the ultimate off onto Godot, but Godot's probably just going to turn around and hit him. Rubik does actually get the kill. Not sure what he has on board. We'll look at that in a moment. And BTK looking for the kill, and MPJ won't find it. The Mirana are just missing on the Pudge. That would have spelled his death, but he'll walk it off. And X-Rag looking for him in the back lines. BTK trying to walk it out the long way. He's probably going to have Nyx Assassin coming up for him from the south. BTK has to be careful here, but got a bit too much life now. And the arrow's splitting the middle. They also drop a clever sentry, so X-Rag will have to be careful about running under anything. Bottom tower, in the meantime, actually taken out by Forgus, so Slapnut's only finding some good use of the map after that, I believe that was a none for 3 trade going their way. And also the, yeah, Observer Horde would have been scaling them out just then, so probably an unlucky hook there coming out from the Pudge. And suddenly the net worth takes a swing. No longer is it the top 3 on side of Beardman. While Mirana is on the top, he has Silencer very close behind him, with Klink's also catching up slowly. That will mean Klink's has the Mithril Hammer on board, so could be going for the BKB, I'd assume.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Also could be going for the Desolator just for that cheap bit of extra damage, but that's a bit less likely. X-Rag in the meantime did run under a ward there while he wasn't invised up, so we'll have to be careful. Might be looking for the Courier Snipe here. And we'll find it! But he walks straight into BTK, has to pop the Spire Carapace, and with that haste room will get himself out of there, so a good snipe from him. Jenny in the meantime getting taken out very, very quickly. That arrow, the arrow stun there feels like it can last an eternity.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Top tower is getting taken out by Forgus.
Tower is under attack.
So yeah, in the meantime, while Beardman's busy defending mid, Forgus is just rotating around and slowly working their towers down. So good effective use of the rat. And Delirium will be caught on the edge of the Pudge hook range, leading to his death.
He's dominating, Rick.
And things starting to look a little bit rocky for Beardman. And another good hook coming out from BTK. Oh, unfortunately, because of the swap, a creep actually ends up getting that last hit, so maybe not the play, but alas. And on the another bright side, Godot does manage to pick up the bottom tier 1. X-Rag here looking to find some kind of defensive play, but we'll likely just have to let the tier 1 mid go. Which put each team back on par with each other. Anyway, BTK getting Winter's Cursed up here. Godot's walking in and gets immediately dismembered by BTK. BTK sitting about half health, trying to chase Godot down. Mirana has been popped if they need it. But alas, they are under a couple of sentry wards, so gotta be careful. But Mirana does find the kill on BTK, and he's now just gonna be chasing down Jenny into the trees. Jenny Actually finds an excellent block on Slicks. Slicks has been blocked up here. Trapped on the corner. Wasn't able to get out of there. Might actually be going down here. Will just survive. Oh my, that was almost unfortunate. Sonagung now getting worked down here. Meanwhile, in the back of the lines, Jenny unable to get the kill off onto Marana. Marana running up to the north, but trapped up here, caught in this little circle here by creeps. That was good for a laugh, but Marana does get out of there. Probably would have been able to leap away if nothing else. And there are a lot of wards around this mid lane coming out from Slap'em. They did take that mid tower. They also take the top tier 1, so they have every outer tier 1 tower of Beardman's. Well, Slap'em still has that one mid tier 1 standing, even if it is only just standing. Yeah, Goldgraph not telling much anymore. Almost back to even playing field on both Gold and XP. So Beardman have lost that lead. Slap'em is starting to just find their feet. A few good plays and hooks come out from Pudge. He may only be 2 for 4, but there really isn't a fair tale of some of the hooks he's been landing. Marana arrow goes scouting, goes south, will miss. And that should be a dead tier 1. They get the fortification off. And they almost find X-Rag. They know he's around here somewhere. And he almost had to run underneath that sentry ward. Tries to get down. BTK will not get the start off in time. Pops the Spike Carapace a bit early, so they can't turn around for it. Jenny picking up the Spike Carapace himself. And will probably pop it here. Sunning up X-Rag as well as Slicks. Might actually get the getaway here, but oh no, will be chased down. That was almost an excellent play with a top-notch steal there, but unfortunately will miss out. Hook there coming out from BTK, will miss on Delirium. Just off to the side, Godot caught out in no man's land. Forgus does have the Desolator on board, and that should be a dead Godot. Lord Darcy, you have let us down. But I'm sure he'll be back with a vengeance in not too long. Because in the meantime, Beardman, 4 of them coming up from the west. Looking to find him, and they get the perfect Winter's Curse off there. Actually able to connect on 3, but Pretzel did have his ultimate up, so that just heals him up. Winter Weather will be taken down by Sonic going off at the back. X-Ray gets the ult off, but immediately runs straight under a Sentry and Observer. Fortunately, does get out of there. The hook does miss. And so that's a 2-for-0 trade with Godot, as well as Delirium getting taken out here by Slap'em. X-Rag does realize the scouting sentry ward is there. In the meantime, BTK, what are you doing, Roche son? You don't have the right click. No one actually, come to think of it, Slap'em really does at the moment, with the exception of Clink. So we'll need someone else just to tank the damage while he deals the damage. Now Beardman knows something's going on here, which could have something to do with the Observe ward that they likely had to run through. And so yeah, there's some vision up here from the high ground. The nice Marana are carrying out there. Might want to jump in. They want to get in there and kill up Jenny, and they will do it via Godot, who will about it and getting the kill on the Nyx Assassin off the back. Getting chased down. MPJ getting the stun off onto BTK. Godot wants him dead, and he does get it. Now trying to chase down Pretzel up into the high ground. Forgus with just a bit too much right-click damage for Slicks to really deal with. And Delirium will be walked down just by the silencer off at the back. And Godot and Marana will find the Clink kill. Sorry, started laughing, the Rick and Morty announcer. Anyway, yeah, that will be a 2-for-3 trade going in favour of Slap'em yet again. And Roshan is down to about a 3rd health, so Godot could go and make the most of this. He does have the lifesteal, and will do so. Immediately a stun coming out from Roche. And yes, Slap'em are aware that something is happening. They do have the Sentry ward here, as well as the Observer up on the cliff. So they do know that people are in there, especially now that I believe Slicks just walked in and MPJ just boldly marches through the middle of it. And Godot does find himself now with an Aegis of the Immortal. I'm sure he'll know what to do with it from here. A little bit of a spike there, sorry about that. And Forgus will make the rotation up into the top, as will X-Rag, who is not in Viz at the moment. Does have a Dagon. And this is going to be the dirty build that I enjoy so much. X-Rag tries getting the invis out of there. I'm sure someone has a sentry no one has a sentry on board, so X-Rag will just be able to walk it off. And X-Rag building into the pretty typical Nyx Assassin build. It's one I play myself. I've played my last 13 games as Nyx Assassin, and I've won 8 doing this kind of thing. It's literally just... all you gotta do is Vendetta into Dagon, Vendetta into stun into Dagon, and then finish up with Mana Burn or just right clicks. That's exactly what I'd be looking to do here. BTK missing the hook. Yeah, for every pretty superb hook coming out of him, we've seen a few close misses like that, so pretty much what you're expecting to be coming out of him. Mirana bottling up yet another double damage rune. That's, I believe, the second or third for the game. And also seeing with 3.2k in the bank, could be building into that Manda style here to expand up on the Yasha. And Focus walking around. They do have the Observer Ward here, but unfortunately no Sentry. Sentry just gets dropped as Focus appears out of nowhere. And they do get the extra stun onto him as well as the Winter's Curse. The defensive hook will miss there. And Delirium himself tries to heal up, but that is a disaster for him because now he's just stuck in the middle of Nomad's land. And gets picked off by the Clinks. Just a bit of a badly timed heal. But it's kind of a catch-22, because if he didn't heal, they would have killed him. And if he did heal, they would have caught up and killed him, so... Sonagon building up into the Aghanim Scepter. He does also have the Midas on board, so that should be speeding up his farm. Also, probably the only reason he's actually managed to catch up to Mirana as well as he did, considering how far behind he was at 1 point. He was sitting maybe, I believe it was about a 1500k deficit between him and Mirana, so good job playing catch up for him. Meanwhile, Clinks does have the Death Slayer on board, also has the Ogre Club available. Should be saving up here for the BKB, just to give himself that bit of extra survivability in the fights. And Beardman's starting to ease off a little bit here. They're no longer going for those kind of pretty hyper-aggressive ganks, and are now playing a little bit more defensively and reserved. Mid lane. Jenny will be still in the Whirling Axes for melee, so not really the spell he was probably hoping for, but oh well, alas, we'll just probably pick up a new one in the next 6 seconds. X-Rag on the cliff. Has level 1 Dagon available, but that's really just chump damage at the moment, only doing the 400 burst. And Gadot tries to chase down Denny, but just gets immediately lifted up. He's being dragged down very low. While he does have the Aegis, MPJ might not have been thinking about that at the time. Silence able to get the kill on Vengeful, as well as Clinks killing off the Winter, Mirana killing off the Rubik not before being killed off himself by the Pudge. Gadot looking for this revenge kill onto the BTK, and Gadot will find the kill there. Waiting for the blink where he can finally just chase down Pretzel. Pretzel puts up his shields, but alas, will probably not be able to stand up to it. Did get stunned up there by Gadot, and now he's trapped in between a rock and a hard place. And that will end the fight as a 3-4 win going the way of Beardman Francine. And X-Rag TPing back under the tower, trying to just scare off Clinks, and will do so successfully. Probably going to be buying up another couple of levels into the Dagon if he doesn't actually die here, but we'll get away nicely. And Gadot in the meantime is going to be ripping into the tier 2. Likely not really anything anyone can do about it, but he does go on the defensive and decides to start farming up the Radiant Ancients instead.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, not quite doing all the damage he probably wants to be doing here. Only has the well, really the Sanji Yasha is the main complete item. While he does also have that blink, it's pretty affordable, so he'll be looking for a couple of high damage dealers or something to survive at least. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up going for maybe a BKB or something for a bit more survivability, such as some kind of armor. And they're aware of him being there. There is a smoke gank here coming out with about 3/4 of its time left. They should be able to catch out Gadot if Gadot isn't careful. Is making his way back towards his base. But this is a very fast team. Clink's moving with a 522 with the skeleton walk. So they will be able to track him down. They know he's around here somewhere. Finds his blinks, keeps going. Godot does have to be careful here, getting chased down. Forgus will scout him out, and gets the hit off, so Godot can't actually blink away. Trying to walk back, but no one is in range to actually get a hook off or anything, except for BTK gets the blink in. They just never will come out onto Godot, and Godot should be going down here. And that is a dominating spree going the way of a Baton. And they're getting closed in on all sides now. X-Rag sitting off to the side, might look for the scout kill off on Jenny. Now that he has got his teammates there with him. And goes almost goes for it, but the heal up means that he didn't quite get the Dagon pick off, and the kill will go the way of the Winter Wyvern. And so yeah, not the trade BML probably looking for. A their main carry for the exchange of support. But in the meantime, Slicks was able to take out the tier 2 tower down bot of Slapnut, so you know, not all a loss for them. It's essentially a core for a support and a tower, so they can't be too unhappy with this. And Godot will probably just come back and just keep farming as soon as he spawns, so I'm sure it's not too big a loss for him. $4,000 gold lead now, going in favour of Beardman. X-Rag popping... Oh! Forgus getting in the way! Oh, the pings come out there. That's just, that's chump Dota. But at last, that is just the issues you have when you're playing as the Pudge. You do have to occasionally deal with little mishaps like this. Been a few funny things like that happen in this game, from the Mirana getting blocked up on the ledge here to that little failed hook just then. So yeah, Clink does have the BKB on board at the moment. Solar Christ actually on MPJ at the moment. So he's actually finding some pretty nice farm for a position 4 support. And Godot coming in with the Manta style, so it's hoping that the Manta will stop some things like the possibly the hook, as well as Field of Silence's ability is going to be coming out to just mess him up. Godot doesn't have the damage to follow this up. They do take out the tower, and Godot tries now. The Mirana arrow did come out and hit onto BGK, so that should be him going down as well. Going to be following it just back up the cliff now. Sonagon getting stunned up by the Winter's Curse. Godot going to walk it up the cliff and trying to whack away at Sonagon, but it wasn't working, so he does have to back off. Now they're probably going to be wanting to make something here with 2 members of Slapnut down at the moment. Mirana's probably just going to keep firing off arrows so they get the hit, and that's when they'll make their charge. And Godot does find Forgus in the middle. Forgus pops the BKB, able to pick off Winter Wyvern, but will lose himself. Not the trade he was really looking for there. Sonagon getting melted down, taking out with a Dagon Zap from the Nyx Assassin, and that leaves just Pretzel. X-Rag's probably going to have to go for the stun here, just to keep Pretzel from actually running away post-ult. And he just gets trashed there by the Troll Warlord. Double kill going the way of Godot. All hail Lord Darcy. And they're just going to be chopping away now at the tier 3 in the mid lane. Badly timed hook there coming from BTK. Not bad on his part, just bad luck, I guess. And that should be a dead mid lane. If they wanted to, they could keep rotating around with Clinks down for the next 25 seconds. It's up to Rubik as well as BTK to actually get the block here. And yet another near miss coming out from BTK. So a few unlucky hooks here, and that could cost the range racks on top of it. Jenny steals the Mirana arrow and tries getting the kill off there on MPJ, but just brings him low. Godot still losing health. Don't believe there's a mechanism up on anyone at the moment, so they will have to be very careful here to avoid actually going down. But they do take their second lane, and X-Rag's the only one sticking around just to beat away at pointless structures, so he realized that may be in vain, so decides to get back. X-Rag pops the ult, heads up a little bit, dodging the arrow. X-Rag also now has a lot of gold on hand. Has enough for buyback and probably a couple of levels up in his Dagon as we speak, so we'll probably go for that just for the extra bit of kill potential. Making the rotation around now, they probably could go for Roche if they wanted to. As soon as it's up, Godot does scout the miss. Only another about, I never know how to read these clocks, but I'd say about 30 seconds, probably less. Really wish there was just a giant, like, digital timer in the sky. I'm aware it may kind of ruin the whole theme of, you know, a magical far-off land, but it makes it more convenient for casters, I guess. Alright, so Godot's going to send off one of his illusions, likely to scout out the jungle, no one to push up mid, so pretty standard farming tactics coming out of him. Has got the Sanj on board, so could already has the Sanj on board, and so could turn that into another Sanj and Yasha should he so choose, or possibly even the Heaven's Halberd. But yeah, the turtle begins for Slap'em, having to sit back nice and close to their base. They can't really afford to push out. And so yeah, Godot and Slicks will find their way over to Roshan. Gonna start whacking away at him. And we'll probably try and turn this into a barracks push once they successfully take it. And there's not really much Slap'em can do about this. They basically just have to sit back, hope that they can defend themselves, and then start going for progressive pushes. That's really going to be the tactic here. You wouldn't think they were as behind as they were by looking at the kills, but the net worth is a bit of a cliff face here, going from 5,000 about 3 minutes ago to being about 15,000 now. So unlucky for Slap'em to have lost the last couple of engagements like they did. Silencer in the middle, scouting out the assassin, who actually also drops the gem, so that's a little bit big. Just Pinoy things. Yeah, everyone here knows each other, so the friendly banter gonna be coming out. But yeah, they're still Hitman's still with the advantage, but they may Sonogong. They may have to just be a bit more careful about it now, because the only way that yeah, Beardman could throw it away now just with a bit of cockiness, but that is unlikely. They will find Pretzel if he stays around here. Godot actually getting lifted up now. Has the Aegis on board, so can afford to tank a fair bit of damage. Being brought down almost the first time, goes down to the BTK rot. And his team probably won't be able to get in there to help him out, actually. The Dismember did have to come out though, so that no one has any ult to back it up. Popping the BKB on Slicks, and Godot pops his Manta style. And they rip their way through Forgus on the Klings. BTK will probably be soon to follow. But we'll actually get out there in time, and Godot actually will go down to the Silencer. Meanwhile, Delirium getting picked off the back also by the Silencer. That's a quick double kill there for Sonogong. MPJ force-stuffing himself back through the trees, but Forgus will be trying to chase him down. It's time for the Jaws theme song humming. Dun 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 dun. Oh, good jump there coming out from Clinks. Not Clinks, Marana. Jeez. Didn't actually have the sentry there, so that was just good luck. Well played by him. X-Ray looking for the assassination on BTK. Misses the impale, so we'll have to look for anything else. Lass will not get it. That's a couple of impales he's actually missed this game, so not a bad performance, but also not the best here coming out from X-Rag. Haven't actually seen this. Alright, regardless. 5 men up on the side of Slap'em. Hanging around the mid lane. They do get the smoke gank off, so they may be looking up here for X-Rag if he's not careful.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Making the most of that burrow ability. And we'll have to be careful here because they have scouted him out. And Blink's directly on top of Clinks. Forgus trying to just scout him out, work out where he is. Delirium is also nearby, so we'll have to be careful. BTK coming onto X-Rag, who has the Hex Stick. Sheep Stick up on Sonogong will be enough to kill off the next Assassin. Sansa is able to find the kill off on the Winter Wyvern. And so a little bit of cockiness here, I believe, coming out from Beardman and Francine. And we'll see a few deaths now coming up on X-Rag, as well as the Winter Wyvern there dying when probably should have just seen what was going to be coming and should have just backed out. And Godot runs straight back up the mid, not really wanting to face the team in the base. Gonna just start farming up at the Ancients. But yeah, Forgus still only sitting with the Desolator and BKB. Hasn't really been able to find any new major items for the last 10 or so minutes. Pretzel himself also hasn't really been able to come into his own so far, but big man Sonogong sitting with the Sheep Stick, Blink Dagger, as well as the Aghanim Scepter on board, so he's going to start being a bit of a walking force. Godot, on the other hand, I have Skadi, Manta Style, Blink, Sanj on board. Godot's a scary kid, sitting with nearly 2.7k health. as the max, so taking him down is going to be a bit of a tall order. BTK probably going to be looking for the hook once he gets back up the hill. Decides not to go for it. And we will just see Beardman Frenzy making a tactical retreat. 5 men have grouped up here. They could be looking for the Mirana ult, which is on board now. Mirana actually has a Moonshot available, meaning that she's hitting twice a second, which is a lot of damage output. Walking directly over the Sentry Observer Ward, so yeah, Slapnut knows exactly what's up. They're going to group up towards top and might look for yet another smoke gank. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another one of those coming out to try and get a Godot pickoff, or maybe X-Rag yet again, who's thrown away a fair bit of gold recently. Does have the Aghanim Scepter on board, which increases his yeah, gives him the borrow ability, gives him that buff in the Vendetta, so not a bad pickup from him, but personally I would have liked to have seen a couple more levels in the Dagon just for that extra bit of damage. Delirium amazed at how close that hook was, but found himself getting out of there okay, so no worries to him. And circles everywhere on the map, so that really doesn't tell me any strategies that anyone was planning. Yeah, the game has come to a bit of a lull. It looked like Beardman Frenzy were going to start steamrolling before, but a few pickups coming out from Slapnut has really slowed this down, dragging back the net worth back to 15,000 from nearly 20,000, and XP back to 10,000 from nearly 15,000, so good on them. Meanwhile, Godot actually getting hooked back up the hill from BTK. Dismember will be coming out here. Doesn't really have any way of getting out of this, and will go down yet again. So Silencer on the mega kill. BTK finding the lucky hook at the right time. Getting his second hook there out on Delirium, bringing him back under the Sentry Ward. Delirium will be unable to survive this. Silencer getting the double kill there, taking out Godot as well as the Winter Wyvern for about a few times now. Meanwhile, mid lane, Forgus getting poked down here by Slicks. Not quite sure what he was doing there. Kind of just wasn't really paying attention by the looks of it, because he kept on auto attacking those creeps. Now Jenny's got to be careful here. Has an MPJ coming up from the south. But yeah, tier 2 tier 2 for Beardman getting taken out there. Meanwhile, this the tier 4s in mid are being worked down very low, so Slapnut has to start paying attention to these creep pushes, as they've managed to take out all the little structures around here, work their way into the tier 4s. And they're trying to work out Sonogong here. Hook there coming out from BTK will try and save his life. MPJ gonna force stuff himself out of there, but it will not work. Slicks gets caught up in the Dismember. Will probably be going down here. That's another kill that Beardman Francine really could not afford. And Jenny trying to scout out MPJ, sealing the stun and immediately turning it around. And yeah, just another couple of kills going the way of Slap'em. So yeah, this turtling is really going very nicely for them. Good ward there from Beardman Francine should stop any of what just happened happening again. But yeah, BTK really coming into his own with the hooks. One from about here to save his buddy in Sonogong, and then a secondary one that managed to actually get the kill. Not to mention the earlier fight where we actually landed 2 up in the top of the map that killed off Godot as well as the Winter Wyvern. So yeah, BTK really giving us a little demonstration on the Pudge here, so good on him. In the meanwhile, Roshan is about to come back up, and it was getting pinged out there by Slap'em, but Delirium sitting nearby, not to mention the Observer Ward, still up for another 7 or so minutes, just freshly placed. I'm sure someone's going to probably de-ward that in a second. And yeah, they've been scouted out there by Beardman, who are now going to be grouping around mid, probably going to try and push down, see what they can do. Top lane, a pretty big creep wave they're going to be pushing in, so another thing for Slap'em, try and keep in mind. And X-Rag sitting there in Viz. Clinks did have the, I believe he had the dust on board, so Beard will have to be careful about this kind of defensive play. And MPJ getting hooked up back there, getting saved slightly by Delirium, but yet another kill will probably be coming out here. Unfortunately, the Sun coming out onto Forgus, and that will lead to his death. Nyx Assassin turning around, getting the Dagon pick off there. BTK activating that haste rune and popping the Ghost Raptor, so it couldn't actually be hit. Godot trying to chase him down and gets a lucky stun. That should be a dead Pudge. and is Kappa. Miranda also getting the pick off on the Rubik, and they retrieve the gem. So 3 for 2 trade going the way of Beatman Francine. And this is probably going to be the time to push, while they've got Slicks and Godot up, while Clinks and Pudge are both down. But they're going to turn around actually to try and take out Roche still, so she gives them maybe 15 seconds of just pure push time, which I'm sure they'll use wisely. And Godot dropping the Morbid Mask in preparation.
He owed me money.
And yeah, for the third time, Cheese getting picked up there by Slicks. For the for the third Roshan kill, Cheese will be dropped. And so it looks like Godot is going to make his rotation around to the mid lane. He's got Delirium going to be coming up with the creep wave. They're probably going to try and just jump up the hill and find a push up into the top lane. Just take out this last tier 3 tower and Rax, hopefully. But they're going to have to group up pretty soon. We've still got MPJ, one of the core supports, off at the back. Nowhere really for him to TP to, so it's going to be a 4v5 engagement if Beerman decides to go for it. And just sitting around, they were just delaying time for MPJ to get back. He's likely going to be pushing in the mid lane while Beer just takes out this tower. They start chipping away the tier 3, and because of this very heavy range lineup, it means they can just sit back. And Sonic with the blink in, it will not work because the hook just immediately pulls him out from BTK, so that screws up their initiation completely. Godot does have the Aegis on board, so he can afford to go down. MPJ does pop his BKB, so that's a bit of a win there for Slappin', but Godot immediately comes back, just jumps in and starts going to town on Sonogong. Actually gets forced off back out of there, and that should be a dead Sonogong. My word, got torn through. Clinks does get the pick off at the back on the Winter Wyvern, but will not be enough. Pudge also going down, trying to follow this one up, and they're just going to call GG. They can't stand up against this. And that will be Beerman and Francine triumphing over Slappin' in a surprisingly close endgame there. Well, looked like the game looked like it was going to be over by about the 35-minute mark, but it's gone about an extra 10 minutes just from a lot of good plays from Slappin'. But ultimately, Beerman and Francine, a bit too much of a lead, and a very nice finish there will ultimately give them the win. And a little bit of trash talking to conclude the game. And so that will be Beerman and Francine taking out this best of 1 series.